Ja tervetuloa mukaan mahdollisesti viimeiseen Justice For Allia videon. Katsotaan tuleeko episode 5, mutta ainakin on episode 4 viimeinen video. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Mihinkähän me jäätiin? Näetkö noita tosiaan viimeksi eilen? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Inpax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Inpax herself. It is a fake. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Inpax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well. It looks like Miss Inpax never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about any card. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Encard could not have known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Encard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. No. Mitä vikaa sinä sitten olisi? No, mihinkään epäsilmättä. Väitetään vastaan. The defense believes that the theory of the prosecution has dated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Encard to do not have known it was fake. En minä tiedä. Tän alle. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, your response? I believe that even more important than finding out if this note is real or not is whether the attorney's badge pinned to that man's chest is real. This is the $1 million question. Yes, I agree. Me too. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that I messed up again. Actually, there is something I would like to ask. Mr. Edgeworth, you had stated something earlier to the effect of the defendant had spied on Mr. Corrida's private life. Kiitos tästä tipistä. Tuo joo. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Anna. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah. So then, the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Yeah. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth. It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Yeah. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured. It came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there, Joanna. The prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the killer. Oh, Mr. the killer. Wait, Shelley the killer? Sillä oli pitkät pihos. You mean the killer? I mean the assassin. Yes, Joanna. He's coming here to the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Joanna. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Very well then, the prosecution calls the witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your occupation, please. Very good, sir. Liikkuuko tossa just? Joo, se heiluu. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I see. What is going on here? Joanna, how can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Anna, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this really is Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelly the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly the Killer. It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances. So, now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corina. Is this correct? This as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corina. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is also a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelly the Killer. What is he going to say? About my client. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between the client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Joanna, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood up by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Joanna. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. There's something I must first state. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients? I do think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry. Go on. Well, it appears that this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. The trust between you and your client? I'll provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you are testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did... yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough, please, no more. Revel, it was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today in this witness stand. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you are about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of the prescribed role. The role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. This is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? The gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better wash himself. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. We understand, so please tell us the name of your client. I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do. That egomaniacal, en minä tiedä. It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you. Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patience, try to calm down and calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you are going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. This is something I must... I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person. I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone. Do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think, really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I am here today with... What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What? Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? And this can't be. On the phone earlier. What's going on here? I guess it's that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? So in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name, Martin Card perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. But we're the one who summoned this witness. You silly killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Encard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help prosecute his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility that the defendant himself knew it was fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Encard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached the verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, Encard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Ishworth is right. The killer is lying. And Encard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Surely the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. The testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And who wants death? It was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. The testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. the killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and the button, donning the nickel samurai's costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of plenty of reasons to want them both dead. I know. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Request the trial continue. Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty. I can't accept a not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know. But Matt Encard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am better. I'm no better than Encard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Ishworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten any card convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Ja taas luki mun ajatukset. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Joanna. There's still more evidence to look at, and I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Joanna. Has the verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are. Usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people are, and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? About my client, Part 2. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Correa was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is the most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Joanna. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, we still have the cross-examination to do, but you don't need to question testimony like this, do you, Mr. Wright? Joanna, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that also beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes two of us. Voisi käyttää pakilla. Jatketaan. About my client, Part 2. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, what is Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting height. Yes? How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. No. I'm not thinking of hiring Mr. Wright. Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that, Joanna? Guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You are hereby declared guilty. Witness. Let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. Yeah, well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always a real guilty party. Niinkö sanoo kumpi? No, mulla mikä toimii. That goes without saying, Mr. Dickila. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy. My business card makes it very easy to identify who's carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. Well, pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. So you're saying that saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No, I already told you. I have no intention of using your services, ever. Why does he look like at me like I'm the one on trial here? Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Correa was dead. Tämä ei sinänsä pidä paikkansa. From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Engard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? Sadly, that is not possible. Huh. My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. And that's all you have to testify. Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again? As in you plan to continue? I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you going to do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for your client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Pistän tähän savea. Mitäs mä nyt sanoisin, että se ei tiennyt sitä? Niin tää mehulasi. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. Deckler. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Correa had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass. Mr. Deckler's supposed client thought Mr. Correa had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Joanna. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? Isn't it a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we are up to, we are in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Sorry. Mut tuli viesti. Pienetkin. Mainospesti. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I'm positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items Deckler left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Request taking. Vitsi, mulla kuuluu. Pienetkin. Ja nyt mulla on sitten kylmä. This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building a trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. This request came to me about a week ago. 1 week ago? Are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? It was a request for my service on the night of the awards ceremony. Did you ask why that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request, but as for why, I only had my suspicions. Suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? What did your client request that night? I'm sorry, it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm certain there will be a bear-shaped figurine in one corridor's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was that testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with your testimony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with that brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I've never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between the client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? No ei kyllä mun mielestä, mutta eihän päästä mihinkään, jos me väitetään tai sanotaan, että ei ollut. Ei, it was not important. What he means his client is not important, that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Haluaisitko kertoa, että minkä näköinen se Adrian on? I was so sure there was something, but I can't get a good grip on what it is. I guess it wasn't all that very well. Okay. Phoenix, yes? What did you hear just now? Clean out your earwax and pay attention, Phoenix. You are letting his words slip by. I guess I missed something back there. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Taas tuo uudestaan. Vähän ehkä hätiköidysti otin ton seuraavan vaihtoehdon tässä. It was very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh, really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. Okay. Okay. From the moment I saw him. Hetkonen. Sä et tosiaan tiedä Adriania. Adrian voi myös olla miehen nimi. Empressa. Pistää vaan suoraan. Samaa henkilöä tässä kahdesti. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Well, why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So what is the issue? Well, what did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. Order! Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testifies to the following. That he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Joanna, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. What? Eikö mikään se hikoilee öljyä? Miss Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a big mistake? Basic mistake. I believe it has to do with her name, Joanna. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender, and so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. Well, what? What is going on? Shelley the Killer. This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up his client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. Request taking part 2. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. And that's a lie. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. That's a lie. The request was for the murder of one gorilla and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we are okay, like we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, no matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Mutta miten mä vältän tähän vastaan? Se pitää luottaa siihen, että Phoenix osaa hoitaa tän puhumalla. Yes, I remember. I took that request by mail. Didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Okay, no se tuli. Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You are a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindless yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. the Killer met with his client? Do you have any proof that Mr. met? I don't have any proof. I'm sorry, Jana. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Such for us, Jana. That is the nature of right and wrong. No mitä mä nyt väittäisin sitten siihen? Voi koittaa ton alleen. I've come this far. I have to try to prove something here. Very well, I will show you proof. Are you sure about this, Phoenix? Here's the proof that the witness met with his client, who wished Mr. Correa dead. Miksi mä yritän väittää tätä näin päin? Yritänkö mä väittää, että se tapasi Adriani? Onko se tuo? So, what do you think? Ei oo tuo. You may say, what do you think? However, I'm for all intents and purposes a transceiver radio. Oh, that's right. You can't actually see the evidence. Well, I don't think this was one I needed to see. I can hear the prayer silence in the air there. How could you have... I have picked the wrong piece at a time like this. In any case, let's continue with the testimony. Joo, ei se varmaan oo tuo. Joo, se meni eteenpäin. En mä varmaan tohon näitä mitään. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. Katsotaan mihinkä tää johtaa. And why could you not meet certain clients? Pieni hetki, mä voisin hakea jäätelö. Tää video on taukoja täynnä. Alright. And why would you... and why could you not meet certain clients? Recently I have been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Business opportunities. No, anteeksi. Nice business opportunities. On top of which the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in special insulated envelope? I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what I commonly refer to as email. Email? In the context of mimicry, the judge would be the pirate, hands down. Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and the request was for the murder of one corridor and 2 or 3 other small things. 2 or 3 other things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It would be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Press further. Whether or not they are related to this case is for the court to decide. Miss Attorney. Yes. Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? I smell the stench of a backstabber, and should you turn out to be one? Oh, wait. Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Kyllä, mulla on save. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Missy Corey's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and give it to Adrian Andrews. Mikähän siinä oli? Me nähtiin että sillä oli se Steel Samurai kostyymi päällä, niin kuten Powers todisti, mutta mihinkäs lopputulokseen me päädyttiin siinä, että oliko se Adrian vai Matti? I found this figurine at Miss Encard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Encard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? There is a contradiction. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction. And yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection to his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright? Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Encard Mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. Well, what? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Mitä mä mukaan näytän? solmusta juttu herrajes. Kuitenko mä tälle näyttää sitä, että minä tiedä. Se ei nyt ole hetken matkan päässä, mutta ei se mitään. Koitetaan, mulla ei mitään kärryä kyllä. Ei. So, what do you think? Witness. Mr. the Killer. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to visit the water closet for a second. Huh? Mr. Attorney, I think it's time I stated this in terms even you can comprehend. If you ask me any more of these pointless questions, there will be no mercy. Now I would like to move on with my testimony. Ei pakottanut mua kuitenkaan. No, otetaan saveissa ja jatketaan. Press further. Press further. Pistän tohon save. We have pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Seems like we are still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we are going, we will end up completely destroying the killer's life. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time. Ja opsikaatu taas. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So you are saying that you never saw your client's face? Not even once? I did once. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The nickel samurai mask, I'm guessing. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Ei pidä paikkansa. Koska se Powersi sanoo, että sillä ei ollut semmoista. Do you have any problem with this piece of testimony? There is a contradiction. One thing does sort of stick out to me, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Let's recall Mr. Power's testimony. At the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. Encard, and at the time he was not wearing his nickel samurai mask. Oh. Order! Now, yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness. Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying tools to the warriors' rooms. Is that so wrong? The man who gave me that tip was not my client. He was probably just a very generous person. I'm sorry, but sadly we are not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Oh, the déjà vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man? And where is your evidence that the large roll of cash was not in fact a tip? Come, Mr. Wright, Edgeworth, show me the money. What? Mr. Attorney? Yes? You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. In fact, I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client. Oh, no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know. Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all. I think we are on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I am free to cut contact at any time. I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness. If only you were this apologetic all the time. Anyway, I don't see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness. We have pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Tuossa oli pariin, missä mä voisin näyttää sitä. Evidenssiä, mutta mulla ei mitään mitä mä näyttäisin. Miten mä oon mukaan todistunut tässä? Tämä oli se, mikä lisättiin tähän, se yleensä on tämä. Tai yli aina ollut tähän näin lisättyyn statementtiin. Shelley the Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then niin se olisi polttunut sen saman tien. Aivan. Then this item should not have been inside it. This item. Let's see where you're going. Mä en, koska mun arvaus meni väärin. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Joanna, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been... No, okay, kyllä mä olin oikeassa. This bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands. I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! So what were you two were? So that's where you two were going. So by far, the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us what your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Joanna, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Order! Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Oh, wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end, and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Ashworth? Yes, Your Honor. I don't understand this witness outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Ashworth, we can do this. If we keep up, Maya, she'll... the prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Joanna. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is the most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Encard, would be declared innocent, and in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant with Matt Encard to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least, on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. So, I guess even the old fuddy duddy figured me out. Mr. God. But an actress's lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that's refreshing like a spring breeze crap. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer. Should I start with justice, or should I save Maya's life? You'd better get Encar'd a guilty sentence, okay? But what if I did that? Maya will die. What if I say he's innocent? Then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Other choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defendant's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Encar'd, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Encar'd, is guilty. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Encar'd, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt Encar'd is... Francisco Mulcom. What are you doing here? Oh, you see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them, the final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Wedgeworth. The Bonokama is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy, he's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. Let's come gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags everywhere, anywhere. I apologize for his ugliness, but there was nothing else to rub the items in. I've fought long and hard at this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. And so that inside the coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Bonokama be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Ashworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted to this court. Now, Miss Bonokama, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Joanna, the killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we are about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it. This is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Luukeriko toi on? Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Question for more details. Olisiko se... Ei se kyllä se murha-ase ole. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistic test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case, at least with me. Niinku sua ammuttiin. Niin. That's the pistol that used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet there removed from my shoulders as a sort of memento. I'm sorry, it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's a pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much. A small caliber pistol that is thought to have been fired by the killer at Franziska. No koska ollut varma, että onko noi luukerit 9mm vai 22 kaliberisia. 22 kuulostaisi vähän turhan pieneltä kaliberilta, että siitä olisi oikeasti mitään iloa varsinaisesti. Kyllä silläkin nyt siis jonkun hengiltä saa, mutta luulisin, että se on ainakin 9mm, mutta se piippu näyttää vaan niin pieneltä, että siksi mä oon miettinyt, että onko se 22. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took that from Encounter Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it. That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Surely the killer is no ordinary man. Videotape, one of the items retrieved. The killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatebottom Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There is a button missing on this uniform. A button? It's a very unique button. I'm sorry if we were to recover it. It would provide us with an interesting clue. Billboy's uniform worn by the killer on the night of the murder. One of its special buttons is missing. This is all I have to present, Joanna. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Joanna? Also, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing, it is who is a client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Kamo. You may step down now. Wait, Joanna. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? This is the end. Phoenix. I know it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you are wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You have come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's try, for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of this situation for us. It's two. The first. Make a guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Engard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Engard. If the killer were to no longer think of Engard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Yeah, that's even more impossible. He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? On the other side? What does she mean? You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. That person does not know the truth. And that's the truth. It may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections at this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it is us. It is us that needs the evidence, Jana. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Jana. Please, Jana. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion. Pistää tähän save. Ei se koskaan tiedä, kun tää peli ei anna mun tilaisuutta nyt tallentaa sit, kun se pitää valita. Ja viimeisin save on aika kaukana. Aika mä skipaan tätä äskeistä, en varmaan. I will grant you one chance. Oh. No, itse asiassa mä voin tehdä näin. Mr. Wright, for you to ask such a with such passion. Okay, kyllä mä luulin. I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Engard down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? I see. And now, tell this court one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Mr. Von Karma? Well, I was just shot, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you are talking about anymore. Oh, wait, please, one more chance. This is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant met in guard. That is all. Court is adjourned. Tuliko game overi? And just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. The end. Huono loppu. Huono, mikä bad ending, kyllä. No, minä kysellään apua. Mikä se kysymys oikein oli? I have to try to remember everything that has happened to this point. Think Phoenix. Taas se Majan renkautetaan. Now then, let's not waste him. Who would you like to show this? No, aika ovella kyllä. Ei kyllä olisi tullut ikinä mieleen. Näytään sitä Maijalle. I see. And now, tell this court what piece of evidence you would like to show this person. Ja sille pitää näyttää... Se ei ollut mikään näistä kolmesta. Mä haluan näyttää sille mun Attorney's pätkiä. Well, what do you think, Miss Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say to this. How about you, Miss Von Karma? Miss Von Karma? Well, I was just shot, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. Okei, siis tässä on sama loppu, mutta okei. Vähän kaukaa haettu kyllä taas. Sama loppu, ihan sama mitä sitä ottaa, mutta tällä tavalla mä pääsen tapaamaan Maija vielä kerran. Mä haluan näyttää Maijalle mun Attorneyn pätkiä, niin me tavataan vielä uudestaan. Aika ovella. No one understands what you are talking about anymore. Wait, please, joo. Ymmärrän, että te ette ymmärrä. No, minun täydellinen win-rekordini säilyy. Not guilty. Mutta... That is all. This court is adjourned. Minä saan murhaajan nyt sitten vapaalle, joka ei nyt ollut kyllä ihan se, mitä mä olisin toivonut. Ja Adrian syyttömänä joutuu vankilaan. Joka ei myöskään ollut kyllä mitä mä olisin toivonut, mutta no, nähdäänpähän Maija vielä. And just like that, the case came to an end. I never saw Maya again. No ei ollut kyllä toiminut tämä mun teoria, mutta... Mitä tää nyt oikein sanoo tässä? Make a save at this point. No mulla oli save. Present Maya Fay. Choose Attorney's badge. You can actually choose any person or item as long as they are not Shelly the Killer or the videotape presenting. Mä otin sen bad ending vaihtoehdon. Enkä ottanut sitä oikeeta vaihtoehtoa. Kiitos Kad, erittäin auttavasta. Eli minä haluan näyttää sen siis Shelly the Killerille. Ja mä haluan näyttää sen videonauhan. Mut miksi? Miksi Shelly the Killerille? Luulisin, että se Shelly the Killer on nimenomaan tämän nähnyt. Mun piti näyttää jotain jollekin henkilölle, joka ei ole nähnyt näitä. En tiedä. Ei, mutta tää oli mulla aikaisemmin jo mielessä. Mä vilasin Niin tää mulla oli aikaisemmin mielessä, että niinku... Se Matt Encardeha oli... Ois halunnut... Se oli salakuvannut sitä The Killeria. Joten se on ollut pettänyt sen luottamuksen. Kerkäsin unohtaa, kun en nyt keskittynyt siihen asiaan ollenkaan. Eli tää ei siis ollut siis se video... Mä oon sekaisin. En tiedä mikä videonauha tämä edes ylipäätään on. Mä luulen, että tässä olisi näkynyt sen Juan murha. Well, what do you think, Miss Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect the videotape. I thought so. No, I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it, so I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are in this tape. Me? Eiku niin, siis niin. Aivan. Se on se, missä se murhaa sen. Kai. Oli tai ei, mutta se ei kumminkaan tiennyt näistä asioista mitään. Ja se menee sen näitä arvoja, sen arvoja vastaan. No niin tietenkin, niin tietenkin. Joo. Me. There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true? Is it right? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. When did Martin Card film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is to get out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client was secretly filmed the crime scene. They wanted to blackmail you. Wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. But with that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that Shelly the killer? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes, you told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if the traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then the client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity. I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes. My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your processed item. What the? I'm not an item. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. I'm that good. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of... I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness stand, and... Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. Engard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Jana, the verdict, if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Jos mä sanon not guilty, niin Adrian joutuu vankilaan. You plead guilty. Matt Engard. Even though I'm a lawyer, I cannot make your crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self. Guilty. Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Yeah, guilty. Nyt me tiedetään, missä on saanut noin arvet sen silmänsä. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt Engard? I've left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. Also, he's getting a full course meal of whipletter right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, where the two of you used your combined strength to convict me, Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. You were great out there at Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you have not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time, but you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss von Karma arrived with the final piece of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, at Encardis. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer. Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you. Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls, you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, she's quite right. Quite safe. She is on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Mystic Maya's safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick. Oh, she's punched. She punches deceptively hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying it to myself. Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Ah. Thanks. Oh. What's wrong? Miss von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ow. Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. At Edgeworth. For my own personal victories and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. Well, what foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant, but every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one is never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. but we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, right? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night. Ah, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago I made up my mind. I decided that the once Edgeworth I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool. Miss Von Karma. I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. The Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. Sinne meni teidän parisuhde. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Ja Franziska lopetti. Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Kamshu? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she is saying about this action. You should keep this right. Okay. Nick. Kiva nähdä taas. Maja. Mikä toi oli? Maja. No, se tuli vähemmällä innolla. Mennään sillä ensimmäisellä autolla. Maja. Mystic Maja. Mystic Maja. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck at this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad goes through Burley. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, Miss Edgeworth. I'm really with you all right. Hey, it looks like you have made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. Hey. Alright. I think it's time we get out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick. Food! Crap, chow. I'm starved. I'm so hungry when you look like a nice juicy burger on bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick. Food! Ei oo vielä kauhia. Hey pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Come June. Are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I don't think I would hit telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him. You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now look here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight even. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now. Everyone gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lara bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, detective. Tää loppuu varmaan ihan just, mutta mä käyn tupakilla. No niin, jatketaan. Huh? Me? You really think so? He's right. It wasn't for the 3 items you took. I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from Dickler's hideout, sir, I took 4 things in total, sir. What? 4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item. Come on, y'all. It's over. But who, boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think, why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away from for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Miss Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. That's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. It's always nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it worth? This thing is picking something up. That's Miss Von Kava's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me. That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet. And you have eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait. What? I just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Satuin katsomaan sen vastauksen. mut tulisi ensimmäisenä mieleen tää Attorney's pätkä. Mut ehkä viimeisen osan huipen, no okei, tää on kyllä itse viimeinen osa. Onhan tässä vielä seuraava peli tulossa. Tosin mä pidän kyllä näissä peleissä tauon. Kattoo, jatkanko mä, tai no siis jatkan kyllä varmaan joskus vielä 3. pelillä, mutta jossain vaiheessa sitten. Mutta niin, satuin katsomaan että oikea vastaus on tää ruoska. Ei ois kyllä tullut mieleen. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you too. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. Mun pitää mennä vessaan. Jos se olisi ollut viimeinen tauko nyt. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. Mä luin toi jo. It looks like Miss Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, missikö mä jo? Yes, Polly. I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean. But Pearly, would you got it out already? You are embarrassing me. Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party? As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick. Huh? Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy innocent noodles, pal. So I can't already put your name on the bill. Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that. That's my... I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel scene. And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Huh? Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like I'm screaming? You don't need to hold back now here. Yeah, pal, time to let it all out. This is going to be the first time I hear the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all. Alright then, if you say so. Ja sieltä tulee lopputeksti. Lopputeksti tulee jossain bad ending. You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like you have been living in the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro. I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymoons, so I sort of made a reservation for the two of you, just in case. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief and he got me reinstated. I heard he said things like letting that one go is bad for all. I know it's crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal. Ihan kerran lukea kaikkea nyt loppuun. I'm Maggie Bird. I'm retiring. I'm going to be waitress from now on, and bring smiles and joy to people. Hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Dr. Hottie, haha. Recently, yes. That girl, you know, I haven't seen her around, yes. But I remember if I even laid so much as an eye on her, there's be a tiny crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped though, yes, haha. It's time to begin our quest of World Circus Dominant tai jotain Zimbabwesta. Hey Max, what do you think? Minä jaksa lukea näitä. Arvosana tälle pelille. Mulla on vähän hatarat muistikuvat nyt tässä pelissä jo. Mä oon unohtanut tyyliin nää kaikki mitä tässä on tapahtunut, että mikä oli ensimmäisessä pelissä ja mikä oli tässä pelissä, mutta tässä oli vähän niinku turhauttavia tilanteita. Mä joudun aika paljon kyllä katsomaan kuidessa neuvoa, että tää ei ollut niin selkeä. Välillä oli vähän kaukaa haettua ja what's this? It's just an ordinary electric razor recharging. Mut Cyclock oli ihan hauska systeemi. Trialin ulkopuolella tuommoista evidenssien löytämistä. Vaikka kuten sanoin, niin olisi ollut kiva, jos ne lukot olisi oikeasti vastannut sitä, niitä vastauksia. Välillä ne mikä ei lähtenyt pois ja välillä se lähti useammat pois sitten. Tai no viimeiset yli 3 lähti aina pois viimeisellä kysymyksellä tai mikä evidenssillä. Tämä olisi saanut olla tehty vähän paremmin. I appreciate everything you and Miss Edgeworth did for me from my bottom of my heart, and that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Kaum. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult about her anything. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. Et se varmaan tommoista kauhean kauan joudu lusimaan. That's become difficult for me in this country. As such, I will take short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit. May we have both blessed. Mut joo, no. Mä en muista minkä takia mä jossain vaiheessa jo mietin, että arvosana 8/10, mut ehkä mä nyt sanon 9/10. Ei ihan yhtä mukaansa tempaava kuin ensimmäinen oli. Now you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this. I heard you were planning things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy trap coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. What is going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran off with the things from Ridiculous hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. 4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business. Are you running away? Shut up. You don't understand the thing. You can possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Kaum's daughter. Francisca. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure, such a thing, is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me, I'm no genius, I've always known that. But I had to be one, I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor, you have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Niin mä saan tämän cutscenein, koska mä annan se oikea itemi. Mä oon siis missannut noita loppukatsiineja vielä, kun en oo antanut oikeita itemeitä. No, jos mä ikinä satun pelaamaan nämä pelit uudestaan, niin pidän huolen, että mä annan niille sinne oikeat itemit. Right. You knew something like that this would happen, didn't you? Nope, ei mitään hajua. Ihan randomissa annan sulle ton ruoska. I'm going to say this again. Ellei sitten tää tulee joka tapauksessa. Mut nyt kun mä en jos en olisi antanut sille sitä ruoskaa, niin se olisi silleen ollut että no voi. Sitten kun jos mä pelaan tää uudestaan, niin mä voisin tajuta pähkällä että hei, jos mä annan sille sen ruoskan, niin antaako se sen sille Franciscalle sen tässä sitten, ja voisin sitten todeta, että hei, se antoi sen. En tiedä. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. You haven't changed a bit. You have always let me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth, I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today, you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years ago. Yeah, all these years ago, tuli. And that's why we are standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you are going to quit your... If you say you are going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Francisco von Kama. Älä itke. I am Francisco von Kama. I don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Tääkö oli Majan piirustus? Tuleeko 5. episodi? Ei tullut. Se oli sitten siinä. Kuten sanoin, niin tässä on vielä yksi tätä Phoenix Wright-pelisarjaa, trilogiaa. Tämä on Ace Attorneyä, Phoenix Wright, tai Phoenix Wright Ace Attorneyä trilogia. Seuraava peli on sitten nimeltään Trials and Tribulations. Mutta kuten tosiaan sanoin, mä pidän nyt tästä tauon, koska nämä viimeiset videot on ollut niin tuskallista tehdä. Mä oon tehnyt niitä tyyliin kerran tai kaksi. Tai yhden päivään tai kahteen, niin en nyt ole samalla se innostusta nyt jatkaa. Jos mua innostaa taas jatkaa jossain vaiheessa, niin me aloitetaan tämä Trials and Tribulations sitten uudella innolla. Mutta katsoo milloin se tulee. Voi olla, että se alkaa viikon päässä, voi olla, että se tulee kuukauden päässä tai vuoden päästä. Ja en lupaa, että aloitan tätä ikinä. Ei sitä koskaan tiedä, kun potkasen tyyliin tyhjää. Ennen kuin kerkeän aloittamaan tämän, mutta enköhän mä palaa tähän peliin vielä jossain vaiheessa. Kiitos kun katsoitte ja jatketaan seuraavissa videoissa.